Fallout 4 is almost impossible to put down. Most of the way this huge role-playing shooter works is carried over from its excellent predecessors. It's the Skyrim to Fallout 3's Oblivion, if you will, and it's comparably dense with great locations to explore, genuinely creepy monsters to fight, and superb post-nuclear atmosphere. After more than 55 hours played, I may have seen an ending, yet I feel like I've only begun to explore its extraordinary world. A story that begins as a basic search for your lost family evolves into something much more complex, morally nuanced, and less clear-cut by the time you're through. Like in Fallout New Vegas, several groups are competing for control of the region, and deciding which of their imperfect post-apocalyptic philosophies to align myself with made me pause to consider how I wanted events to play out.
You need to understand what it means to be a part of the Brotherhood.
Even the highly questionable Institute has a tempting reason to side with them. I was initially disappointed by the overeager beginning. Soon after a revealing glimpse of pre-war life and events on the day the bombs fell, Fallout 4 throws you into a big action moment that sacrifices the sense of working your way up from the very bottom. But that feeling passed as I began to explore, and met some memorable companion characters.
As I live and breathe! Oh, it's really you!
Vault Tech is here for you.
The huge number of side quests is the real attraction of Fallout 4, and they easily overshadow the main story with well-written surprises and an engrossing atmosphere that blends creepiness and dark comedy.
One team would beat the other team to death with these things called baseball bats, and the best bats were called swatters.
I can't go on a point A to point B quest through the ruins of Boston without seeing 3 other things I want to do. Oh, I can't not do that. I bet there's great loot in there. Oh god, kill it with fire. I feel like a kid on Easter whose parents are bad at hiding candy. Side quests are so addictively rewarding in part because loot has been punched up in a very Diablo-style way. On top of the typical spoils of battle and foraging, every so often you'll come across a legendary enemy who will drop a uniquely named special weapon or item with a modifier. I found it difficult to part with these. They're so full of potential, and I found I changed my playstyle to take advantage of the bonuses they offer. And these items, along with nearly everything else, are upgradable, because Fallout 4's crafting is crazy in a good way. You can enhance both an item's stats and its look, creating an extremely varied selection of equipment. And because every item in the world is made up of components, nothing is worthless. I once went on a desperate search for pencils so that I could extract their lead to use for radiation shielding. Fallout 4's gunplay feels like a good quality first-person shooter, to the point where you could comfortably avoid VATS auto-targeting if you wanted to. But I didn't, because these slow-motion dismembering kills are still great rewards for a job well done. Plus, although VATS slows time, it doesn't completely stop it, so the pressure is still on in intense fights. And a new manually activated critical strike system, and the ability to cancel out of VATS at any time, give a touch of much-needed control over these events. Melee's still a bit simplistic, though. Relative to Fallout 3, Fallout 4's characters are more jack-of-all-trades in their combat abilities. In fact, the entire concepts of skill points and traits have been consumed by the perk system. While this means giving up some minute control, it also means that every decision you make has a significant impact on how you play, so it works. Another major change is that power armor behaves almost like a walking tank, and fuel is a limited resource. It's a bold move that makes these Hulk's appearance on the battlefield feel like a big event. However, since my suit was always just a fast travel away, in practice having to run back and grab it when the going got tough became more of an inconvenience than anything. Meanwhile, building up settlements with the finicky build mode definitely adds something to fiddle with beyond quests. But my towns almost never contributed anything meaningful to my adventures beyond somewhere to hang my vast collection of looted hats. There's tons of potential here for crafty people to build some impressive stuff though. Fallout 4's performance on consoles is sometimes disappointing, with frequent framerate slowdowns and hitches in areas that run smoothly on the PC. On all platforms we saw occasional crashes, and every so often there's a quest that won't properly begin or end due to scripting bugs. But it was nothing that dampened my enthusiasm for exploring, fighting, looting, and just existing in this lore-filled universe. The world, exploration, crafting, atmosphere, and story of Fallout 4 are all key parts of this hugely successful sandbox role-playing game. Great new reasons to obsessively gather and hoard relics of happier times, strong companions, and sympathetic villains driving tough decisions make it an adventure I'll definitely replay and revisit. Even the technical shakiness that crops up here and there can't begin to slow down its momentum. For much, much more on everything Fallout, stick with IGN.